I was playing Splatoon one day on my Wii U, just going through the story mode, since Nintendo shut down the servers. I think I was doing the DJ Octavio boss fight when something started feeling off. My screen started glitching slightly. I got to the part where the Squid Girls start singing their song, but it was slowed down this time. Scarily slow. It definitely felt like something wasn't right, but I shrugged it off. I thought maybe the disc was just worn because it was so old, so I just tried my best to ignore it. I finally got to the last stage of the boss fight when my entire screen just froze. Just great. I waited for it to unfreeze, then 10 minutes later I just decided to give up. I reached over and held down the power button on my Wii U. Right when it started powering off, the game unfroze, but something was up. All of the ink in the game suddenly turned dark red, but before I could do anything, my Wii U shut off. Sure, it was weird, but it was probably just another defect from the worn disc. I decided to just put my Wii U away and start playing on my Switch. I grabbed my Switch and started to play. I was getting kinda sick of story mode, and I wanted to play online against other people. But first I needed to change my outfit. I noticed there was no Inklings hanging out in the lobby, it was just empty. But I just headed over to one of the stores to see what kind of clothes they were selling, when something weird happened. The only thing for sale was some weird, dirty, stained white tank top. I guess this is some kind of new item? Whatever. I decided to walk over to the amiibo thing and scan one of my amiibos. I went up to it and started scanning my Inkling amiibo, but another strange thing happened. I guess it was some kind of visual glitch, but the Inkling in the amiibo box appeared to have no eyes. They were just hollow black holes where eyes should be. It honestly looked really creepy. Another strange thing was the dialogue. It just said, "Tune into Off the Hook October 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern." That was kinda strange, as it was currently May and October wasn't for a while. Maybe it was just some big event they were hyping up early, I thought. Once the dialogue was finished, the amiibo gave me that same tank top that I saw for sale earlier. It was kinda strange, but I decided to start playing online, so I went to the little building area for online. I finally got into a match, but I guess the servers must have been really dead, as I only had one opponent. Some guy named Creepypasta 123, I think. He was wearing that tank top from earlier. I barely saw him that whole round, though it was like he was hiding from me. Very strange indeed. The rest of the round carried on like normal, and more people joined. My team ended up losing the game, but I decided to play again. I queued into another game, and the same thing happened as last time. There was only one opponent, the same creepy splatter guy too, and his team's ink color was dark red. This is honestly just kind of weird. Maybe the guy was some kind of hacker stalking me? No, that's ridiculous. I played for like 2 minutes before I finally ran into him. Well, more like caught a glimpse of him as he ran past. The weapon he had was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It looked like some kind of knife? That's strange. I continued looking around for him when my character just died. I noticed he was behind me, so maybe he just snuck up on me. The weapon he had was definitely a knife, and a large kitchen knife at that. I quickly pulled out my phone and did a quick Google search if that was even a real weapon in Splatoon 2, but nothing was loading. My phone had lost Wi-Fi. I checked my Switch to see if it was still in the game, and it was. Maybe my phone was just busted. I continued focusing on the game, and I noticed someone else had joined the game on the other team. Her name was just Marie. We played the game normally, except that Marie never tried to kill me, but other than that I didn't see that creepy splatter guy for the whole rest of the round, so that's good I guess. I pressed the button to go back to the lobby when suddenly my game crashed and it took me back to the Switch menu. I got a message saying, "This game is illegitimate, please purchase a true copy." That's strange. I got this from the eShop. I pressed close on the message and Splatoon 2 disappeared from the menu. The whole game was just gone. Maybe that guy was a hacker. That sucks, but guess I'll just play Splatoon 3. It's pretty much the exact same game. I put in the cartridge and loaded up the game and everything was fine. There were Inklings in the lobby and no creepy tank tops or glitched amiibos. I started playing online like normal, with no problems at all. I played for about an hour against other players. When I started getting tired, I decided to go and close the game, but nothing happened when I pressed close. Dang, my Switch must be glitched. I tried removing the cartridge and it came out fine, but the game was still open. That's weird. I tabbed back into the game and I realized nobody was in the lobby anymore. It was like the last game. No, there was one inkling in the lobby, but it was him. The same guy from earlier. Creepy Splatter 123, still holding his large kitchen knife. He was facing away from me. I tried to close the game again, but nothing happened. That's when I noticed the man was beginning to turn around. My screen started glitching just like on my Wii U. The man's face was so disturbing, it was unlike any Inkling's face you could get. It was a realistic face of a man, his stained tank top drenched in dark red ink. Or at least I hope it was ink. Some of it was splattered on his face too. I felt scared, I wanted to scream. The lobby music became distorted as the man finished turning towards me.
This is our third game.
I heard in a scary, big crushed voice. What? How is he talking in game? The man started walking towards me, but that's when Marie from the Squid Sisters showed up. Was that who I was playing against earlier? Callie was there too. They closed the distance between me and the man stood in between us, not even looking at me, just staring face to face with the man. The distorted Squid Girl song from earlier started playing. That's when a loud noise emitted from my Switch and an image flashed up on the screen. It looked like a smiling Caucasian man, but it honestly disappeared so fast I could barely tell. Just then Splatoon 3 crashed and I was back to my menu. Something was wrong though. The time on my screen was set to 1:23, even though it was only 11 PM right now. I saw it live as the Splatoon 3 icon on my menu changed to the picture of the man I saw. I got so scared I threw my Switch across the room. I ran right into bed and got underneath the covers. 2 hours passed as I was just thinking about it. I could barely sleep. I heard a creak coming from downstairs. It was probably just the house settling. I decided to try to finally sleep, and I actually managed to. A couple hours passed. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I looked over at my alarm clock and saw it was 1:22 AM. But what woke me up? I looked around my room. My closet was open. I definitely left it closed. Someone was in my house. Was it Creepy Splatter? No, it couldn't be. That was just a game. I just sat there for a minute staring at it. A minute passed and it was 1:23 AM. My alarm clock started going off. I did not set it to go off at 1:23 AM. I snapped back to my closet as I heard something move. A Caucasian man wearing a stained tank top and dirty jeans lunged out of the closet wielding a big kitchen knife. I screamed so loud. He ran towards me and I grabbed my lamp to protect myself. When suddenly out from under my bed came Marie and Callie. Creepy Splatter stopped in his tracks and just froze, dropping his kitchen knife. He turned around and tried to jump out of my window as fast as he could, but the Squid Sisters grabbed his legs before he could make it all the way out. They pulled him back in and started pummeling. He never spoke a word or made a noise, but it seemed like it must have hurt. He finally managed to escape out of my window, hopefully never to return again. The Squid Sisters turned around to face me. Wait, they weren't facing me at all. But they were? Looking at me? That's when I noticed I wasn't in my body. I looked around and noticed I was in the Splatoon 3 lobby, but it was actually me. I was trapped inside of Splatoon 3. Marie and Callie walked towards my Switch and climbed back into the game with me. Not saying a word, they just continued to where they were. I just stayed there, staring at my body from the Switch. Hours passed. The sun began to come up. That's when I noticed my body started to move. It sat up and looked over towards me. That's when I noticed I was grinning. My face looked off though. It looked like the man I saw in the game.